Hello and welcome back to another video, and we are going to continue our discussion or our studies on the tuple data type. And in this video we are going to focus on another technique that will help us to be able to read individual items from a tuple easily without the use of the indices. Okay, and to do that I'm going to copy the cyberpunk tuple, or let's use the moon tiger tuple since we've already used the cyberpunk tuple. Okay, so I have copied the moon tiger tuple into the file called tuple unpacking.py, and I want to show you how we could easily unpack the first name and last name of moon tiger into individual variables without the use of indices. Okay, and the way to do that is, pay attention here, it is a bit different from everything you've seen up to this point. Okay, usually the way we declare variables are, we simply give the variable a name, we bring the equal sign, which is the assignment operator, and the value that we want to store in it comes on the right hand side. Now when it comes to when it comes to unpacking, what we do is, because we are unpacking from a tuple, what is going on? Because we are unpacking from a tuple, what we want to do is, first of all, we use the same tuple structure, and then we say is equal to moon tiger. Okay, now inside the what looks like a tuple on the left, what we want to do, sorry, let me get some water. I'm sorry about that. So what we want to do on the left is we give the variable names in the order in which we want to access the items from the tuple on the right side. So see, if I say F name here, and I say L name here, and I say age here, and I say cost. Okay, by doing this, the individual items are going to be unpacked. So unpacking simply means taking each item in order and assigning them to individual variables on the left. Okay, so what it means is Kofi, which is the first name, will be stored in the F name variable. Remember that what is on the left is actually the tuple structure with names of variables in it, so they are actually variables that we can use afterwards. So Kofi will get stored in F name, Asante will get stored in L name, age will get stored, 23 will get stored in age, and psychology will get stored in the course. Okay, so if I print it out, let me just come here and copy the details again, and just to save myself some typing. Okay, so I do this, and F name, L name, age, and course. Okay, so let's save this and run the program. Python 3, and I'm going to use tuple unpacking.py, and you can see that indeed F name refers to Kofi, last name here Asante is stored in L name, the age gets to store 23, and the course gets to store psychology. So this is how we do tuple unpacking, and like I said earlier, it helps us to read individual items of a tuple without necessarily having to use indices. Okay, now one more thing I want to teach you before we end this video is, you can see that in order for the tuple unpacking to work, it appears as if the number of variables on the left should actually match the number of items in your tuple. To confirm that, why don't we just get rid of cost here? Okay, and then I will get rid of cost here also, and then let's try to run this program and see if Python is going to be happy. And poof, we get an error. It says value error, too many values to unpack, and it says expected 3. It feels quite ununderstandable if you don't know what's going on here, but look at it very well. It says value error, too many values to unpack, expected 3. Remember that we are doing unpacking here, and so we use the structure on the left, and then we give the number of variables that we want the items to be unpacked into. And so Python is simply saying that we want to unpack the entire moon tiger tuple into 3 variables. However, moon tiger has more items in it than 3, and so it doesn't know what to do with the rest. Okay, so if all we were interested in were just the first name and last name, Python has a syntax to help us to indicate all other info. Okay, so to do that, you just use the asterisk and then you give it a good name. I'm going to say others to represent all other information in the moon tiger tuple. So what's going to happen is that only the first 2 items, Kofi and Asante, are going to be unpacked into F name and last name, and anything else is going to be stored in a variable called others. So let's change this to other info. Okay, and then I'm going to print others here. Let me just get rid of this new line and let's save this program to see the output if Python is happy. And you can see that indeed we get the first name Kofi, last name Asante, and the other information is actually storing the rest of the information in another collection known as list, which we'll learn about very soon. But at least you know that to be able to unpack just a few items, you need to use the asterisk, and then you can unpack all the remaining items in the tuple into that variable on the left that begins with the asterisk. And also remember that the asterisk is only part of the syntax for the unpacking. After you do the unpacking and you want to use the variable, there is no need for you to precede the variable name with the asterisk anymore. So thank you very much for watching this. Let's take a quick pause and I'll see you in the next video.